Hello, I'm Billy Curtis. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I'm the Executive Director of the Gender Equity Resource Center here at the University of California, Berkeley. I'm also the Project Manager for the implementation of the Gender Recognition and Lived Name Policy, otherwise known as GRLN.
Hi, I'm M. Huang. My pronouns are they and them, and I'm the Director of LGBTQ+ Advancement and Equity at the Gender Equity Resource Center, and I'm also part of the implementation team for GRLN.
Em and I are here to give us a quick summary of GRLN, which was issued in November of 2020 by the UC Office of the President as an extension to California's Gender Recognition Act, which became law in 2018. I'll talk about the history and how we got here.
And I'll share a summary of GRLN, setting the context and sharing the changes happening on campus. We'll spend a bit of time talking about the campus progress to date, as well as our milestone of the December 2023 implementation completion date that's coming up. So what is GRLN? The Gender Recognition and Lived Name Policy ensures that accurate gender and lived names are collected, displayed, and utilized in all campus interactions. This serves anyone whose lived name differs from their legal name. Whether someone is trans or non-binary, uses a professional name, or is an international student who uses a chosen name, GRLN ensures that individuals are known by the name they use.
This policy has its foundations in the 2012 University of California Task Force and Implementation Team on LGBT Climate and Inclusion convened by then UC President Mark Yudof. The recommendations from that task force were then received in 2014 by UC President Napolitano. In 2016, the UC began collecting and processing sexual orientation and gender identity data on the undergraduate application, thus for the first time, allowing administrators to track the academic and co-curricular life of UC LGBTQ students. A year later, with the passage of SB 179, the California Gender Recognition Act of 2017, led to the establishment of Berkeley's SB 179 Implementation Committee and subsequent release of online training in our online management system. Thus, for the first time, providing an on-demand gender identity training resource for faculty and staff. And in 2019, a presentation to the UC Regents on trans and non-binary student experiences culminated in the UC LGBTQ Directors Council and UCOP Graduate, Undergraduate, and Equity Affairs partnering to bring about the policy on gender recognition and lived names for the entire UC system. So while this policy is new, UC Berkeley already has a number of practices that are in place and covered by this policy. The UC Berkeley community members has for a number of years been able to have their lived names on their ID. That's both students and employees. There are a number of campus systems where lived names may be used and displayed. Employees may have their lived names displayed on systems such as UC Path, Blue, and Achieve Together. UC Path also allows employees to update their gender. Our housing system, StarRes, has a space for lived names and also a designation for non-binary gender. Recently, lived names have been added to the new library system, the campus access badge, and e-tang testing. We continue to work with many other systems across campus, and we ask that you periodically check in with us and our progress on our website, which will be displayed later in this presentation.
So let's talk about the specific changes that GRLN brings. This policy means that UC Berkeley values and is responsible for the recognition of accurate gender and lived name on all documents, systems, and displays. Individuals' lived names will be the default in systems, databases, and forms unless a legal name is required. Also, legal names that differ from someone's lived name must be kept confidential and should not be displayed in any system that does not require a legal name. GRLN also provides guidance for collecting SOGI, or sexual orientation and gender identity data. Forms and systems that collect gender information must include a minimum of 3 equally recognized gender categories: woman, man, and non-binary. Finally, GRLN ensures that everyone connected to the UC, including alums, must have a clear and efficient process to amend their SOGI or live name information, including retroactively. So here's how GRLN moves Berkeley forward. GRLN will improve the processes for people to have their name and gender correctly collected, updated, and displayed. Through the implementation, by design, we're also strengthening our practices for collecting demographic information on gender and sexuality. This helps us to better understand and develop a greater awareness of the distinct experiences that exist within the diversity of LGBTQ+ communities. In sum, GRLN is a way for us to help create spaces of belonging where people have the agency to be recognized and interacted with as who they are. As you might imagine, GRLN implementation is a big initiative with many moving parts, so here's what's next for Berkeley. The GRLN implementation leads, committee, and collaborating partners are currently working on bringing all campus systems and databases into compliance with the completion date of December 2023, so that everyone associated with Cal and the UC system will be able to have their live name used in the way they choose and be able to inform the university of their gender. We're also continuing to develop resources and training to support the campus in learning about GRLN and how to incorporate this policy into practice. We invite you to track our progress and to view these resources at diversity.berkeley.edu/GRLN and to send any questions to grln@berkeley.edu.
We are grateful to the IT campus professionals and the Executive Committee of Campus Administrators who are working with us to ensure the completion of this project. We also thank the UC LGBT Directors Council, UCOP Undergraduate, Graduate, and Equity Affairs, People and Organization Development of the UCB People and Culture Division, and the many students, staff, faculty, administrators, and alumni who have been involved over the years to help us bring about this change. While the policy improves the experiences of our transgender and non-binary colleagues and classmates, it also has broad positive implications for all of us and our sense of belonging here on campus. Thank you, everyone, for your time and your partnership, and go Bears.